Google Colab offers a very convenient way for parameterizing code in form of Google Colab Forms. So if you go to Google Colab, there is this example called Forms, and as I said, provide an easy way to parameterize code. So you can insert a form field in a code cell. So for example, you enter a code cell, and here you have the option to add a form. When you add a form, there will be this piece of code here where you can enter your title of the form. So there's test, it will show here, and then you have many different types of forms. So we have string fields, date fields, number fields, we have with sliders, we have Boolean fields, so we have this checkbox and drop down menus. And as we see here, for example, if we enter here, there's this text which is a value, but if you say text test, it automatically changes here, and when you run the cell, it will print this text, which is exactly what you entered here. So we are printing the text, printing the drop down, and printing the text and drop down. So we have different ways to change. For example, here we change the slider, and we see here goes to -0.5. there is an integer slider, now it's on 40, and it goes here to 40. And as we've seen, it also prints, so now it should print the value number input is 10, this slider is -0.45, this integer input is 10, and here is 40, and this is what we have here. So you can set up, for example, your signal processing parameters and decide the user, let the user to decide the values using these forms. And of course, you can also hide code, and then you will have just these forms will be changing, and when you execute, it's executed here. So we have the values that you can use in your code. So it's very convenient way. As I said, we can also hide code, but not only, we can also use Jupyter Widgets for interactivity. So in a previous example, we've seen how to use on interactive charts, how we can use some MyPython widgets to update a matplotlib plot. And here is just one more example. So here we have, for example, a push button, and click me, and when you click, it will print button clicked. So basically you define this button widget, you have a description, here is this click me, and you also have a function that is executed. It's called onButtonClicked, and when you register this button and you have this onClick, passes this function that you defined here, and this will be executed when you click the button, and this is display, it will show this button. So we also have sliders, and so now the value is 2, and when you print the slider value, it gives you the value of 2. So these are two very convenient ways how to parameterize your code. So you can let all this, for example, signal processing parameters, if you're calculating, for example, Fourier transforms, and you can let the user to choose the number of FFT points, the overlap, and you can do all kinds of things with these fields here, from strings to numbers to sliders to date, buttons. And if you want something more than what Colab offers, you can also use these Jupyter widgets. So if you want to make a general Jupyter notebook that not only runs in Google Colab but also runs in different environments, I would recommend that you use Jupyter Widgets, because it works on your local machine, it uses on Binder. And here, as I showed before, there is this documentation for the widgets. So all kinds of widgets, how to use interact, layout templates, and it's a very powerful way to bring interactivity to your notebook without having to hard code this Python, but you can let the user to choose certain parameters.